Both sides are wrong. I'm going to tell you this story. I'm going to try to lay it out in the way that I learned about it, okay? And there's a very, very good reason for this, because I want to try to wrap this up in a very interesting bow for you guys. So there is a restaurant in Texas called, now I forgot the name of it. There's a restaurant called TRUE Kitchen and Cocktail. So there's a restaurant in Texas called TRUE Kitchen and Cocktails, and there's a video that's going viral, has been going viral since yesterday, since last night, involving the restaurant owner and a room, or like a good sized group of black women. Now, people have been hashtagging this basically, like they've been saying TRUE Kitchen. Ruth Chris has been hashtagged in regards to this situation. I'll explain that here in a second. But one of the things is that this restaurant owner goes over to this large group of black women and curses them out for twerking in his establishment. We got the video. We got to take a look at this for ourselves. So I want you guys to see this with your own peepers. Let's check this out, shall we? Colorful language.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a... Come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? Yeah. No, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, take it to Prime, take it to Pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I want men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the fuck out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
Woo! Okay. All right. Now, this is the video. This single video is going viral on Twitter, or has gone viral on Twitter. Okay. Now, people have been calling it restaurant suicide on video. There's a plethora of different things that are being that is being called. All right. Now, there's another angle to this video, because here it is. This is why I love when you take some time to just chill and let a story develop, because sometimes, like, you know, and I'm guilty of this too. You get a video, you find out a video, or you see a video about something that goes down, and then everybody and their mama wants to jump on it. And of course, you know, with YouTube and the mainstream media and all that stuff, we all want to be the first to be breaking a story, first to be breaking or showing the surveillance video of such and such, or when ish goes down and all that. Okay. Now, there are other angles of this video where there are other people that were videoing people twerking, having a good time. Not people, sorry. There was, in one particular video, there's two different angles. I couldn't find it on here. Every single time I tried to find the other angle, it was all commentating videos or people talking about the actual video, and they're talking over it and all that. So I can't show you those videos, but there are other angles where they actually show a girl leaning up against, I guess, you know, up against a window twerking, right? And you can see the owner of the restaurant, Kevin Kelley is his name, come over, and like you can see, like he's about to walk over to this girl and say, like, please, you know, please don't twerk. You know what I mean? Please stop twerking. Now, these videos are the things that went viral. These went all over the place. These have been shared. Obviously, people are sitting here going, you know, they're basically saying, boycott. You know what I'm saying? Blacklist this restaurant, boycott this restaurant, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, I'm going to be putting in my commentary here in a very little bit, but I want you guys to see the elements and see the pieces first. And what's interesting is that there have been, you have that main video where he goes off, and that was the only video that was put out, where it was just like, oh, a black man going off on black women, talking down at them, basically saying, you shouldn't be doing this in this establishment, so on and so forth. Have respect for yourselves. And if you don't have any respect for y'all, then get the F out of my establishment. Right. So then that turns into a whole thing. And it says, and basically everyone's going, I ain't never going there. And how could he sit there and say those things about these black women, let these black women do what they want to do, so on and so forth, right? That's on just one angle. Then those other two angles of these videos come out. These other two angles come out, right? Still showing just one girl twerking, right? Now, this is what is interesting when something like this goes viral and the news get a hold of this story and they want to break it too. So there's another angle. And there's another twist to this story, and we're going to check it out. Here it is.
A Texas restaurant owner is responding after video of him yelling at customers went viral.
All this twerking, take it to Prime, take it to Pink. Don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. If you want to do it, get the f out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture.
It started with some customers standing on furniture and twerking music played inside TRUE Kitchen Kocktails. Owner Kevin Kelley says before the viral video was recorded, he asked the women to stop dancing and sit down. The viral video shows him addressing the whole restaurant, saying he invested a lot of money into it so that black people can have somewhere nice to go and feel good. The video spread quickly online, many saying Kelley addressed the situation poorly. He later posted on the restaurant's Facebook apologizing for using salty language, but not for calling out the women. He also posted other videos showing what the women were doing and how workers and management responded before he addressed the whole restaurant. Katie Johnston.
So you saw that, right? I want to show you guys that surveillance video real quick. Do you see that? There's a whole bunch of women getting on top of the furniture, putting their dirty ass boots, dirty ass feet on restaurant furniture, having a grand old time doing what they want to do. Okay. Also, I want to point this out too. They had there was a certain song. It was Megan Thee Stallion "Body" that was being played on the on the PA, on the PA system. And that obviously got people really hype and feeling some type of way, so much that they wanted to twerk. So here it is. You got a viral video that has gone out, cut out, only to show the restaurant owner losing his damn mind. I want you to see this video, this image one more time. This happened before he went off. This happened before he lost his damn mind. The restaurant owner, the manager, there were other people that went up to the ladies and asked them politely to get back down off the furniture and stop doing what they were doing. Then restaurant owner had enough, came up and said what he had to say. Okay. Now, I have no problem with women who want to express themselves by dancing and have a grand old time. There's nothing wrong with twerking. Okay. I embrace it. I fully embrace it. I enjoy it just as much as the next person. Okay. That doesn't mean that I twerk, but you know what I'm saying. I enjoy seeing it. Who doesn't, right? It's fun, right? Now, there is a time and place for everything. That's what I think on this particular situation. There's most definitely a time and place for everything. This is a restaurant. I don't see any dance. I don't see a dance floor. I don't see a DJ in the corner. I don't see nothing. There's a time and place for all of this. That's what I think. Now, it's funny, like I was saying earlier, when you get one side that is only cut and placed on the Twitters, on the twits, so that everyone else can, so that it can go viral, so that everyone can pass judgment on this gentleman who clearly went up to the ladies and asked them several times to stop doing what they were doing. Obviously, he had his last straw. He had, you know, that was the last straw when he was just like, hey, these women are not listening to me and I'm getting tired of it. Okay? So that happens. They turn this all around. Then you see the other angles. Then you hear his side of the story where he says, I went up to the ladies several different times and asked them not to do it. And they kept doing it. So here it is. Here's my breakdown of this whole thing. Here's the breakdown of this whole thing. Both sides are wrong. You want to know why both sides are wrong? Both sides are wrong in totally two different scenarios, in totally two different ways. One, the ladies shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. Here it is. Has nothing to do with the music, because I got a funny little anecdote about that, and I'll tell you that here in a second. But when you got a Megan Thee Stallion song going off in the background, you know what I mean? The music's pumping. These girls are having a good old time. They're having a blast. Maybe they're finally together for the first time in a really long time, because, you know, we are in a panty right now. We are in a pandemic right now. So it is kind of hard for people to be around friends and family and all that. Maybe they were having a few cocktails that got a little loose, and next thing you know, they're twerking to some Megan Thee Stallion. That's okay. But when an owner or when a manager or any person that works at that establishment walks over to them and says, please, guys, please, can you stop twerking? I'd really, really appreciate it. This is not the type of establishment. This is not the right place. Please, can you stop? If you got people coming up to you and you still keep going, that's problem number one. Okay? Especially when you got the owner that comes up and says, yo, please, ladies, please stop twerking. I really would appreciate that. Quit twerking. And you still keep going? I don't blame him for being upset. That's where they were in the wrong. They should have listened to him, especially being in his establishment. He is the owner. It's not like this was just some customer that walked over and said, hey, man, my kids are trying to eat, and y'all making a clap over here. You know what I'm saying? Can you stop? No, this was the owner. Now, owner's side, real quick, the owner's side. This is where the owner is wrong. The owner should not have gone up and cursed them out that way. Period. There's a way to address the situation. Maybe he made it a public announcement saying what he needed to say, but he could have been a little bit more diplomatic about his approach. That's what I think. There is a way to get what you need to say out without actually cursing at the women and making you look like an ass. Remember, they took out that clip and then they placed it on the twits. And what happened? That ish went viral. Instantly, you look like a jerk. There's a way that you could have approached the situation in a much more diplomatic way where you can get your point across and everyone can still have a holly jolly Christmas. That's where he is in the wrong. The ladies did not need to get on his furniture and start acting the damn fool. That's where you start showing disrespect to the establishment. He should have just walked over there. Hey, maybe he got on his soapbox and made his announcement, but he could have used different language. He could have approached those women as a gentleman and still be stern and still be able to put his foot down without coming off like an absolute jerk. But it's funny when you hear one part, when you see just a clip. And like I said, I'm guilty of doing this too. I'm guilty of getting the footage and then just going, okay, here it is, and but then new developing sides of the story start to come out. And you're going, oh, damn, I didn't realize that, though. I didn't know that. Now we find out now. It's interesting what happens before and after that person hits that little red button on their cell phone to record. So There is also another thing. People are sitting there going, "Oh, because he's black, he has a certain, level, a standard that he abides by, and he expects these women to rise above his standards, and so on and so forth." Whether that is what he thinks or not, has nothing to do with this situation. Any establishment would have asked for those ladies to stop. But this is the other reason why Ruth Chris is trending so hard right now as well, because a lot of people are going, "Well, you won't see black women twerking at a Ruth Chris." That's kind of true, but at the same time, I don't. And this is the other side of like throwing this as as part of the argument, but they're also not playing Megan Thee Stallion at a Ruth Chris. That's the other piece that I'll just throw out there. They're also not playing that stuff at a Ruth Chris. If they do, man, I will record that and I will play it on the show. Even though I'm not even, you don't see me at a Ruth Chris. Come on now. I ain't got that kind of money. Shoot, I'm good. I'm Gucci. But at the same time, that's the argument that a lot of people are saying. It's like, oh, okay, well, they were playing the music. They were playing that type of music to get people hype. So of course these girls are going to get hype and have a good old time. But then the question comes out, when dost thou twerketh? That's the question. When is the right time to twerk? I'll say this. I'm not about to sit here, eat at my table, and a girl's booty is right there in my face while I'm trying to eat a nice, delectable meal. No offense. I'm gonna be like, girl, you need to go sit down. I don't need, you know what I mean? I don't need that right next to my food. I paid a lot of money for this food. This plate is amazing. I don't need, poop dust particles flapping around my food. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, I'm good on that. But there is a time and place for everything. How he went up to her, how he went up to those girls was wrong. Definitely wrong. He could have said it in a different way, and he could have still walked out righteous as a mug. But he did not. He decided to start throwing language that's instantly where you lose, my brothers and sisters. That's instantly where you lose. Do you understand? Instantly you lose right when you start. You instantly lose right when you start using foul language at a customer or at a girlfriend. Let's be real, yo. You know, for a fact, every fella knows exactly what I'm talking about. As soon as you go, what the F? All of a sudden they go from, I'm sorry to. And they give you that look. Oh, he did not just curse at me. Bruh, you instantly in the doghouse. And that's where he was wrong. Those ladies should have been respectful to the establishment. Yes, I understand. They think they know that it's a black restaurant. They automatically think, oh, it's okay to be our true selves here because the place is called True. You know what I'm saying? But no, they asked, please, no. Please don't do that. Please don't. So both parties are wrong in this situation. Both parties are in the wrong. But I'll say this too. I went to a restaurant. It was a white establishment. It was a white restaurant. It was Valentine's Day. It was a Valentine's Day dinner. It was not a restaurant like True or anything of that sort. It was just a regular restaurant, Valentine's Day, y'all. And they're playing it's Valentine's Day. Mind you, it's Valentine's Day. Having dinner, we're having a grand old time. And all of a sudden, Tupac's here in the video. Everywhere I go, I see the same hoes. That's while I'm eating what is said to be a 5-star meal. And there's other people around me, all different races and creeds. And they're all trying to talk sweet love. You know what I'm saying? It's Valentine's Day, baby. And you got Tupac talking about hoes in different area codes and stuff like that. That was playing in the background. So do you automatically go, all right, is the music the reason why? Is it instantly that? Or would they have twerked to any song because they were feeling good? I mean, obviously, they're not going to twerk to Beethoven. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine them trying to twerk to classical music. Hell no. But I'm just saying. It could have been any song. It could have been Ludacris, for crying out. It could have been Will Smith. It could have been anything. And I feel like they would have twerked. They would have been dancing and having a good time. Right? So the question is, for those ladies out there that are gifted with them hips, when dost thou twerketh? That's the question. David, what are your thoughts on this?
Let's see. I mostly agree with you. I disagree that he did anything wrong, though, really. At first, I want to read some of his comments. He kind of already said what he said, but
yeah.
All right. This is his words. The Kelley, what's his name? The owner of the place, Kevin Kelley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he says, when the first incidents occurred, the guests were politely asked to stop and have respect for themselves and other customers. The guests at issue were at 3 tables. As the video shows, you will see guests spoken to politely and literally begged to stop standing on their furniture and twerking. There are other videos that show much more of this behavior in the following videos, but we do not want to embarrass the guests sitting at those tables. Later, as another video shows, a customer stood on her seat, placed her hands against the glass window, and began to twerk. My immediate reaction was that this woman could fall through the window and we could be the target of a lawsuit if she is injured. My second reaction was enough is enough. After already addressing this behavior twice, these customers no longer deserve the courtesy of kindness I expressed in the earlier encounters, as it was met with disrespect and intentionally ignored. This is why they were told to leave. And he later goes on to say, as for the music played, moving forward, we will adjust our playlist. However, regardless of what had or will be played, no guest has the right to come into our business home and stand on our furniture because of any song played. As for the twerking being a part of our culture, we do not welcome the part of our culture that will come into a restaurant, stand on furniture, and twerk while using culture as an excuse. Would you accept this for your home as yourself if you would do this at any other restaurant you frequent? And said, now it's my words, but I pretty much agree with him in that assessment.
Yeah.
So, like, the first thing, when he brought the story up to me, I hadn't heard about it yet. And my first question was, is there a dance floor? And you said no. And I was like, oh, well, they shouldn't be doing that. I didn't even know the details of it. I didn't realize it was like...
Right. But here it is, though. If there was a dance floor, that's what a dance floor's for. Like, that's what a dance floor is for, baby. So if there's a dining area and then there's a dance floor somewhere else, even if there was a dance floor, they should be using that dance floor. Go over there to that dance floor. Don't stand on his furniture and start going crazy and having a grand old time ruining his furniture that he spent. That's what I think. Regardless if there's a dance floor or not. There's a place and there's a time and place, literally a time, and there's literally a place for that thing, for that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so, yeah, I agree with you there. And his argument is that it's culture, which I'm not even going to touch on. But my view is that it's a little simpler than that. He asked them to leave twice politely, and they didn't. So at that point, I think it is appropriate to literally tell them the GTFO, and I wouldn't be polite to them at that point. I think
there's a way. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't think he had to be polite at that point. I understand that it's very bad PR, and if he hadn't done it, it probably would have avoided the initial, negative reaction. But I don't think he was wrong. I probably would have done the same, honestly. And to me, it's not the song. The song doesn't make them dance. That's their own responsibility. They decided to twerk, even if it's, I don't know, Megan Thee Stallion, WAP, whatever. It doesn't. no matter how good the song is, it doesn't give you leeway to behave inappropriately in a place that has clear behavioral guidelines, right? And if the owner was fine with it and they could go on, that's fine. But like you said, I do see that the thing that caused them the most problems was specifically using the F word, and I don't think it's a big deal, but other people obviously do, and I get that the women were offended by that, but I think it's a bigger deal that they were offending all the workers and probably the customers, because who really wants someone to open their butt cheeks while they're eating right next to them?
Not really.
It's like you said, poop particles are going everywhere. It's just the way it works when you swing your butt, and I don't want that in my food.
Okay, so do you mind if I rebuttal on that real quick?
Go on.
Okay, because I hear you on that. Like if somebody's in my establishment and see, if this was a bar, I know that sounds weird, but if it was a bar, I could see him saying GTFO. I could see him saying that. It's a bar. Whatever. But if he's sitting there going, within the same breath, saying, this is a fine establishment, this is something to help with the culture, to bring our black people up, get the F out, in the same breath, don't think so. I just don't think that was a good way of displaying yourself and trying to support your argument. Not sitting here saying that it isn't a good, a fine establishment. Not sitting here saying that it isn't fine dining. I'm sure it is. Hence the reason why he was like, stop twerking, y'all. Please stop twerking. But if it is a fine establishment, I've seen bad things happen at Ruth Chris. You know what I'm saying? I've seen bad things happen at fine restaurants. And even when they approach the situation, even when the employees or managers or even the like, if there's a security there, because it's fine dining, so you don't call them bouncers there, right? So even the security guys are doing it in a different way. They're not doing it as if they're outside some dive bar and they're going, get the F out. So not sitting here saying that he didn't have a right to say, he has the right to say whatever the hell he wants. But the only reason why this video is going viral is how he approached the situation. And if he approached the situation a little bit differently, if he still approached them with respect in a way, as if he had a quote unquote fine dining restaurant, that video probably still would be out, but the people would sit there and go, I don't see what he did wrong. He asked you guys several times to stop twerking. I think one of the things that is really surprising people or making people feel some type of way is how he approached the situation when it got caught on film. It was caught on film, him saying, him saying ish, him saying the F word, like he was cursing at them. And that video standing alone makes him look really, really bad. But then once you get all the background story behind it, you're going, oh, yeah, these girls were wrong. But he shouldn't have cursed at them. That's the only reason why this video is viral. For a fact, if he went up to them and said, ladies, thank you so much for you guys being here, but I cannot have you guys twerking here anymore. I need you guys to leave. Please, will you please just leave right now? He could still even say, this is an establishment and I've spent a lot of money on. This is a fine dining place. I'm trying to push, the culture. I'm trying to do this for us black people. He could have said that stuff all day long. But as soon as he said the F-bomb, as soon as he started cursing, everything that he said got thrown out the window. That's why everybody's focusing on this. Has nothing to do with what he said before that. It's right when he said GTFO. Go to Pink, go to Prime, whatever he said. Go to Pink, go to such and such. You ain't going to do this in my fine dining establishment. Get the F out. You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody's going, whoa. You heard it in the room. The whole room gasps because he curses at them. And I understand he's angry. But he could still get his point across without cursing. He could still do it in a diplomatic way and get them the F out. He could say get the F out without actually saying get the F out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all. If it was a bar, if it was a place where girls were twerking, that were allowed to twerk and have a grand old time, I could see him throwing out the N-word, throwing out the F word, every curse word you can think of. No one would pay no mind to it, right? But the fact that it's a fine dining restaurant and he lost his cool, that's why it's going viral. If only he approached it in a diplomatic way, he would not be seeing as much backlash as he is getting right now. That's all. He's totally in the right for feeling that's how he felt. I just wish he approached it in a different way. I think we can all see that in a way. And I get it. You know what I mean? But I don't see, like, I'm trying to think of like a massively popular fine dining restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a place, there was, I don't even know if it's still open, but there was a place here in St. Louis called Tony's. And I mean, that was like fine dining. Now, if there were girls showed up at that place and they were twerking and everything, and the owner of Tony's walks up and says, get the F out, there would be quite a response to that too. Like I said, I feel like it's, if you are building a brand and you're building an ambiance, the owner of all people should be emulating that vibe. He should be he is the face of that restaurant. And if the face of that restaurant is losing his cool and isn't approaching people in a fine dining kind of attitude, I can see that being something where it gets put on Twitter or where it becomes something that goes viral. You know what I'm saying? But y'all comment down below. Let me know what you think.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.